Absolutely not.
Absolutely not. Free, Karen, free, yeah, free, Karen, free, yeah, free.
You guys familiar with the TV show Different Strokes?
Yeah.
What you talking about? What you talking about? What you talking about? What you talking about, Willis?
Now the world don't move to the beat of just one drum.
I mean, the world don't move to the beat of one drum, Kevin from South Boston. Now, I just got to hit you with the nostalgia because Gary Coleman been gone for a long time now. But here we are in 2025. R.I.P. Gary Coleman. Here we are in 2025, and his wife took a lie detector test, and it came back that she was lying up a storm. Matter of fact, it started raining when she started talking. So let's get into that little video real quick of her and how the parallel to the Karenread case is somewhat the same. This is true crime at the end of the day, unsolved cold case. That's where we're at with John O'Keefe. This is a cold case. Is there more to the story, Kevin, do you think?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I think there's a lot more to the story, you know? And it's just getting worse. It's getting worse, and it's getting worse. And, you know, someone needs to take accountability for it. Man up, you know?
Do you think Karen knows more than what she's saying?
You know, I think that, you know, I think that Karen definitely knows a little bit more than what was told, and it, you know, for us to digest. And the only reason why I say that, the phone calls, the messages between them two, disclosing Higgins being a part of an intimate side of her, I think she wasn't honest. You know what I'm saying? It's like they found that shit. She didn't drop the jump. Like, you know, we've talked about this before. It wasn't like, hey, listen, you know, I dropped my boyfriend off here. He went inside the house. I was talking with this dude Higgins. You know, I don't know what happened, but you know, it didn't feel right. I mean, there could have been some more context to that whole thing, you know, that we never got. So I do think that, you know, she didn't want to be, you know, I think that she was quiet. You know, when those phone calls and the text messages came out between them two, it wasn't something that she was like, oh, I did this. It was like they got found, and then it was like opened up to us. You know what I'm saying? In my eyes. A ride from the ride from the waterfall to 34th Fairview. It's been a question in my head. You know, what was said in that car ride? I mean, you can't tell me that you guys were just sitting there fucking like two deers with the headlights on them and shit, fucking staring out the window the whole ride.
Should she take a lie detector test?
Oof.
Should put it all to bed. Everybody take a lie detector test. Fuck it. What really happened? And the reason why we say that, because it's different strokes for different folks. This is Gary Coleman's wife.
Did you physically cause Gary's fall? Mm-hmm. You answered no. Right. I also asked you, did you physically cause Gary to fall that day? And you answered no. And the results are, you failed that exam.
God damn.
It is fatal fall. Okay. I asked you the following relevant questions on this test. Did you physically cause Gary's fall? Mm-hmm. You answered no. Right. I also asked you, did you physically cause Gary to fall that day? And you answered no. And the results are, you failed that exam, with deception indicated to those relevant questions.
Man, would you believe it? It's like, what, 15 years? I mean, E. Pags didn't even know Arnold was gone. E. Pags.
Now the world don't move to the beat of
E-Pags, what's up?
What you talking about? What you talking about? What you talking about?
What you talking about, Pags?
What you talking about, Will?
Why is this coming to light now? Because she took a lie detector test, ladies and gentlemen. She took a lie detector test, and the parallel is if Higgins took a lie detector test. Kevin from South Boston, take the lie detector test. Big Bad Brian A, take the lie detector test. Very simple question. Did you have anything to do with John O'Keefe's murder? Is it going to come out like this?
You failed that exam.
Look at her face. Look at the way she reacted to it. Watch this.
Let me say that again. You failed the exam regarding Gary's fall.
That's fucked up. She looks like a McCabe.
Now the world don't move to the beat of just one drum.
What you talking about? What you talking about? What you talking about? What you talking about, Will? What you talking about?
God damn, yo. You know what you should have did, girl?
What's one thing life taught you? If you take your top lip and connect it to your bottom lip, you will shut the fuck up. If you take your top lip and connect it to your bottom lip, you will shut the fuck up. Sometimes shutting the fuck up is the best thing you can do. What's one thing life taught you? If you take your top lip and connect it to your bottom lip, you will shut the fuck up.
And two, the other thing I know that's 100% certain
is that there is more to this story that hasn't been told.
Two, the other thing I know that's 100% certain
is that there is more to this story that hasn't been told.
There's more to this story that hasn't been told.
Question mark, an exclamation point. Question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark, an exclamation point with some question marks, question mark with a couple of exclamation points, and then some type of emoji.
We got the goal up in the chat. Let's go, people.
Let's go.
Static selector. Static.
Waterfall to 34 Fairview. That's something that opens your mind up.
Oh yeah. I mean, not knowing what was said. I mean, yeah, just to know the what the what the emotions or what the feelings were, or I mean, obviously, don't you knowing what we know now, she would not have felt comfortable there. I mean, ask yourself that. Unless she didn't give a fuck. But I mean, for real, you're gonna go into a house with that's you're kind of an outsider. You've never been there before. You got one dude you're rapping to on the side and one dude you're trying to make up with. I mean, you're definitely gonna feel some type of way.
Rhonda said, I think Karen was trying to talk him out of going. Well, one of the reasons why I've been saying that, because if she went in there and they ran into Higgins, and Higgins and the boys started drinking, and Higgins just happened to pull his phone out and show the text messages between him and Karen and throw Karen under the bus, then I'm sure she probably was talking him out of going.
Yeah, like the laugh.
Nobody wants that embarrassment. But here's the thing. In 2010, Gary Coleman died. Okay, Higgins? And the reason why I'm bringing this up, because this is just to let you know, 15 years later, this didn't age well, my dude. She just took a lie detector, and the man just said, you were lying, okay? And there's more to the story.
More
This
to
is
it.
15 years later, right?
Unbelievable.
What you talking about, Willis? Different strokes for different folks. Big Bad Brian A. 15 years later. Now I get it. What's going on? Now, we know there's going to be. The fact of the reality is this. Arnold, Gary Coleman, he was Hollywood. This is where this is all going, right? It's all going to Hollywood. Turtle Boy, Hollywood. Karenread, Alan Jackson, Hollywood. But then guess what? You don't think that Big Bad Brian A. and his family are not thinking Hollywood? You're not thinking they're thinking a book deal? You're not thinking they're thinking money to get out of this? You don't think there's people knocking on their door? Kev, do you think that if Karenread took a lie detector test, would there be any deception in that lie detector test?
I mean, I think it's a great idea. Do I think there would be any deception in it? I mean, that's a tough one. I mean, I don't think she hit John with the car, but I mean, if we were to ask her questions about the ride from 34 Fairview from the waterfall to 34 Fairview, maybe.
Like how so? Elaborate a little bit.
That she did, like, I mean, if one of the questions were, what was the conversation from the waterfall to 34 Fairview?
Well, what do you think it was? Honestly, what do you think it was? If you were going to guess, what's your opinion? What do you think it was? Do you think that there was nothing said? Do you think at that point it was no words, just take me to 34 Fairview, or he was irate? What was going on?
I mean, to be honest with you, with the whole ride there, I mean, it could have been a couple of different ways, J.F.K. I mean, it could have been like, hey, listen, this dude's in the fucking. If I got in the car and seen how they were trying to punk me down in the bar and flex on me and shit, I would say straight up, like, listen, there's an issue, and I want to go there. I'm gonna straighten this shit the fuck out. I'm gonna confront this dude. And she could have been like, hey, listen, I don't want to go, or I don't feel good. We've been out for a while. Let's just go home. It's starting to snow. Or it could have just been, I really don't know them, John. Like, I don't feel comfortable going there. And he could have been like, well, let me go pop in there and see who's there. Let me see what the situation looks like. I'll be right out. You know what I'm saying? And he ran it up in there and the shit was on site. I mean, you got to remember Higgins and Brian, they were pumping each other up, man. I mean, that they were like locked and loaded. You know what I'm saying? They were trigger happy that night. They were fucking talking shit, pushing each other around. I got one for you. What would your thoughts be on let's start off with Big Brian A. You think he'd handle himself proper on a lie detector test, or do you think?
Well, that's what it's going to come down to. It's going to come down to that, because we're back to the Hollywood talk. This is a right now thing. There's money on the table. There's a cash out. They're all gambling. They're all gambling. Money is a funny thing. Fame is even funnier. Do the lie detector test. Let's really shake this shit up. What you talking about, Willis? What you talking about?
What you talking about? What you talking about? What you talking about, Willis?
Question mark, an exclamation point. Question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark, an exclamation point with some question marks, question mark with a couple of exclamation points, and then some type of emoji.
You know, us talking about this shit's kind of like, being a little bit like John's voice a little bit, trying to get it out there or get something out there. But do I think like he didn't have a clue? Nah, I think, you got to think about it, man. We're talking about a cop. I mean, that, we talk about addresses and getting a sense of direction and shit. I mean, that shit blows my mind. You like you said, you can all you have to do is tell that dude once, and that shit's it's stored in his head. So seeing the Big Bad Brian A and Higgins fucking checking each other in the bar and running their mouths, doing the little huddling and shit like that, fucking doing this shit. He was fucking running his mouth.
God damn, Cat.
Just saying, man. He was
What's one thing
fucking
life
running
taught
his
you?
mouth.
If you take your
Brian
top lip
Albert's
and
ear.
connect it to your bottom lip, you will shut the fuck up.
That's the sound of the police. That's the sound of the beast.
From the bottom, now I rose. Now this shit is set in stone. I can't leave my craft alone. Now I barely see my home.
Static Selector.
Let's go!
Wow, baby. Hey, from the start, all I had was hustling hard. The struggle is my fuel, but I do not halt.
What you talking about? What you talking about?
There's somebody that needs to take the test immediately. Yeah, she goes by the name of Julie Nagel. She testified when she came outside to see her brother. She didn't even see the truck, the LX 570. She didn't even see Karen there. But she also testified. You seen a blob. Is that low key saying that she's seen John? Why does she got to be the one to say she's seen a blob? I seen a blob. It was 6'2". She said she's seen a dead body basically out in front of that. She's seen something in front of that flagpole. Do we need to put her on the lie detector?
Definitely. I mean, she stumbled on the behavior of the dog. There was a few different things that she stumbled on. And I think that's something that she does. I think she dog sits and shit and watches dogs and shit for families. And I took that as like fucking she wasn't being honest.
She's friends with little Brian A, right? Did she see something? And that's the reason why she said she didn't see no car. Like, what is she covering for? Like, I didn't see no car, but yet I seen a blob. So it's like, wait a minute. So, because if anything, you would either see the shit going down, right? Because he just got out the car and ran right into the pipples, or you walked right by him.
Now, with regard to about how long a period of time were you talking with your brother next?
I would say maybe 3 minutes max, not even.
And did you invite your brother and his friends inside the house?
Yes.
How did they respond?
They said, no, we just want to go home. And then I was like, I'll find out another ride home.
Oh, really? It's so funny, isn't it?
Next question, as far as
hilarious
arrangements for you coming home, was there any, prior to you coming
like,
out of the house, was there any talk or discussion about how you would get home if you didn't go home?
Yeah, Matt McCabe and Jennifer did offer to drive me home if I didn't want to go home with my brother. So I just stayed and then took their offer.
You decided you wanted to stay and took them up on the rock.
Correct. Yes.
And in addition to yourself, who if anyone else, went home from the residence on Fairview with the McCabe's?
It was me and Sarah Levinson.
Now, if I could bring you back to that period of time when you're outside, the vehicle that you were talking about, where is that in relation to the pickup truck that Ricky saw?
Well, it was like the SUV wasn't there when my brother was there. It was like before. Like when I was inside, I noticed it.
She's all fucked up.
So that means, Julie, the accident already happened. And that means John was already on the grass.
You didn't see him.
You didn't see him. Your brother didn't see him. Richie didn't see him. Was that his name, Richie?
Yeah, Ricky.
Ricky didn't see him. And the girl didn't see him in the middle of them in the F-150. You want to take a lie detector test? Do you? You know what happens on lie detector tests?
I ask you the following relevant questions on this test. Did you physically cause Gary's fall? You answered no. I also asked you, did you physically cause Gary to fall that day? And you answered no.
Is that you, Julie? This is 15 years ago, Julie. Different strokes with different folks. R.I.P. Gary Coleman. R.I.P. Officer John O'Keefe. Just be clear.
15.
The reason why I'm 15 years later.
God damn.
And the reason why we're saying this is that this came to light 15 years later. What do you think this is going to age like, Julie?
With deception indicated to those
Look at the way she acts. The same type of mannerism the way you act.
relevant questions. Let me say that again. You failed the exam regarding Gary's
Let me say that again.
fall.
Wow. You want to hear what we think?
That's false. There's two things I know for sure, Shannon.
There's two things we know for sure. You ready?
One, you were not completely honest with me yesterday during this polygraph session. And two, the other thing I know that's 100% certain
is that there is more to this story that hasn't been told.
God damn.
Julie, you just testified that there was no truck outside when you went out
talking
there.
about? What you talking about? What you talking about? What you talking about, Will?
Now the world don't move to the beat of just one drum.
What you talking about? What you talking about? What you talking about? What you talking about, Will? What you talking about?
Give it the sit, boo boo.
Julie, this ain't gonna age well. God damn.